Hey, everybody, it's time for another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is sort of a response to the column I wrote after the Tar Heels' 59-7 win over Campbell on Saturday at Kenan Stadium. I wrote a column about the Tar Heels getting their mojo back, and I even asked Mac Brown, using the word mojo, did you get your mojo back? And he said, yes, I think we did. I also asked a few of the players after the game along those lines of getting their mojo back. There's been a little misunderstanding of what the word mojo means in this sense, and I will get into that in just a moment. First, quick reminder, this show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, and we'll have a word from Underdog Fantasy in just a few minutes. Okay, so I wrote the column, Getting Their Mojo Back was the headline, and it was about getting their mojo back. What does that mean? That means not so much finding themselves as a football team from a football perspective, because there were some things to pick out in the game. There's no doubt about it. Defense wasn't great early. They had to adjust. They had a little bit of trouble with Campbell spreading stuff out, going tempo, and running right at him. That was something that Virginia did successfully, and that was something Georgia Tech did with tremendous success a week earlier. So I imagine the Tar Heels are going to get that in the remaining games until they prove they can stop it, especially against a Power 5 team. Campbell is an FCS team that now has a losing overall record. They were 4-4 coming in, had lost 44-13 at Richmond the week before. Still, the Tar Heels did make some adjustments, and they ended up closing really strong. I think they allowed, less than 80 yards over the last 2.5 quarters of the game. A lot of reserves got in. Mojo, to me, though, isn't so much this worked, and this worked. Mojo is more what they felt like when they walked off the field, what they felt like when they were in the locker room and when they went home, and what Sunday's practice was like, and turning their nose in the direction toward Duke's visit this week. Mojo is about hitting a giant reset button in many respects. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. Before I do, let's go ahead and hear a word from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy.
Yes, guys, we are so excited to be partnered with Underdog Fantasy, and we decided to partner with Underdog because it's the easiest place to play fantasy sports, and it's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry right now as well. And Underdog Fantasy has so much to offer, including their Pick'em game. And in Pick'em, you pick whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game for a chance to win big. It's so easy to play. Just pick 2 to 5 stats of your favorite players and choose whether they'll go higher or lower. And you can 20x your money by going just 5 for 5. They also have a Best Ball Mania. If you think you know football, you need to check this one out. This year's Best Ball Mania has $15 million in total prizes up for grabs, with the winner taking home $3 million. So sign up today with the promo code HEEL, HEEL, and get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with that promo code HEAL to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms do apply. And if you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org. Back to the show.
So I have been highly critical of Power 5 teams, any Power 5 team, whether it's one I cover or whether it's one on the West Coast, that plays any game against an FCS club. I don't like it. I don't think you get much out of it. You get 12 opportunities a year. Why would you spend one on what is basically an exhibition? I know that some FCS teams win, and shame on the Power 5 for losing to an FCS team. That's absurd. However, I don't think there's a ton to get out of these games, especially ones that are played late in the season. I was critical of Larry Fedora when he used to do it. I've been critical of a lot of other schools. I don't think it's right for the fans. I think it's fair that you charge anything close to regular admission for what is ultimately, in most cases, especially for good teams, an exhibition game. However, and by the way, I stand by that. And if you do play one maybe in the season opener like North Carolina did last year against Florida A&M. And even then, play Tulsa, Play New Mexico State, play Connecticut. Don't play an FCS team. Don't play a club that, like Campbell, whose football budget's $5 million. That's almost what Mac Brown makes. Okay, now I got that out of the way. However, all that said, I actually think that this game in this place came at the right time. Now, there's no way on earth that when Larry scheduled this game and 5, 6, 7 years ago that they knew that, hey, the first Saturday in November of 2023, Mac Brown's team is going to be coming off 2 horrible losses after a great start. The fan base is going to be angry, justifiably angry and upset. And there's going to be a lot of question marks hovering above the cloud that hovers over the program. No one ever could have anticipated that Campbell coming up at that time would be the perfect tonic for the Tar Heels. However, I think it was. The game was on the schedule, so you play it. Nothing anybody in the program could have done about it. They could have bought it out or whatever, but you know what? It came at the right time because 84 guys played. Because this team was all smiles. They had purged the grotesqueness of the last 2 losses from their system. They got to feel good about one another. It gave them a week of preparation going into a game that I don't think they took Campbell lightly. I think it took a while to get into the game, but I do think they respected their opponent, which might be a lesson learned this year. I think that may have been the case, an issue leading up to App State. I know it was an issue leading up to UVA. They've acknowledged that. So it wasn't against Campbell. But what you get is that exhibition game that we all would love to see in mid-August against an FCS team, for example. We got to see it in early November. So the Tar Heels got to click on all cylinders on both sides of the ball and do some decent things in special teams. And they got to have a point in the season where they could just gorge on something different. It breaks stride from what was taking place with those 2 losses. And I think it gets them back on track a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to play well against Duke, at Clemson, or at NC State to close the season. What it does mean is I think that their collective mindset, the preparation, the way that each goes about their own individual stuff, their routines, will be a little bit better. I truly believe that. It's amazing, as Max said after the game Saturday, what confidence can do. And when you get a little shot of confidence, it's incredible what it can do for not just an athlete, but for any of us. Whether it's sitting here doing a daily drop by yourself, or whether it's doing something among a group of people, a science lab in school, or a project at work. Or if your mission is you're in sales and your mission is, man, I got to sell 12 of these things this month. It's the 25th and I've only sold 9. I got 3 more to go. You know, you got to be able to handle these things, and confidence that you know you can sell those last 3 is going to give you a better chance of selling those last 3 than if there's uncertainty. So the Tar Heels embark on this 3-game stretch to close the season. I think just feeling a whole heck of a lot better about themselves, with a lot more confidence. And I think now, in the right frame of mind, the reset pre-Miami might be back with this group. And if it is, they have a chance at finishing strong and maybe still achieving many of their goals. Maybe not all of them could be done, because it looks like Louisville is in great shape to meet Florida State in the ACC title game. But that doesn't mean this program still can't win 11 games. 10 games. Do better than 9. Remember the whole motto of the offseason, 9 isn't enough. They still have that within their reach. And getting this game this past weekend and getting their mojo back, I think positions them better to achieve that goal than had they not had what just took place this weekend. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you disagree. I want to hear your reasoning for either. I'm cool if people disagree with this. I'm cool if you think it's just a throwaway game. It doesn't mean anything. I get it if that's your take. But I want to know what you guys think. Let us know on Twitter, in the thread after we post this. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know on our message boards, the free and premium ones. And of course, you can be on the premium one for just $8.33 a month. You could be a Tar Heel Insider too. It's amazing what you get there that you never get on our channel. You never get in any of our free content. Anyway, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, like this video if you think the Tar Heels got their mojo back, or if you feel better about going into the Duke game now than you would have a couple of days ago. And also make sure that you share this video with all of your Carolina Tar Heel friends. Let them know we're here and hit that notification bell so you get dinged every time we upload, which is often. I'm AJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.